minister to you today is how I've been doing it for years, and I learned most of it by Jesus trained me working with children. How I preach to you today is how I preach to children, just about how I always do. I don't change it for adults and children. And when I was a student here many years ago, I never thought that the Lord would call me to children. At the time, I worked with him full-time for 14 years, and now for the last 3, he's had us doing itinerant family ministry mostly, and then youth. But I think in my presuppositions, I thought children's ministries was play, kitty. But I just had to be with them who I was in God. And I preach to them like I do to adults. And I say that to hope that Father will stir some of you to consider the high calling of being with them. And you would be amazed, dear ones, the churches and the size of some churches that have asked me for help, that need children's pastors. And I hope you're not like me. I'm at the big time. I wanted to be a theology, biblical studies teacher to adults when I was here. And that's not a bad thing. I love theology. You can teach children theology. And it's the best of both worlds, because we would have relay races in the fellowship hall of our church up and down the hallway with trash cans with wheels and kitchen carts and bicycles and cranking music and having a blast. But you know what? By the time we were done, kids all over the floor on their faces before God. You can have the best of both worlds, being a kids pastor. You can't do that upstairs. You can do it in kids' church. And the worship, when we be ministering to the Lord, and the worship, and just a chapel at Bethel where I started. Maybe 100 kids in the chapel, and after we ministered to the Lord, His peace would come over those children. And it was like the Lord was saying to me, Michael, they're putty in your hands. Take your shoes off. Because the Spirit of the Lord will come on anyone who's sincere and reverent. He doesn't care about age limit. His issue is reverence. And children reverence Him. So just put that in your spirit and be open to it. I had no idea when I was at Elam or when I graduated that maybe having worked with children all those years. But man, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And it's been said, and I believe it's true. If you can minister life to a child, adults are easy. Adults are easy. And so this is how I learned how to meditate. This is how, when I study the Word and immerse myself in the text over and over and over again and meditate on it for my own strength and closeness to God, these ideas that you will see just come in my mind, I want to believe the Holy Spirit gives them. 83% of what a kid learns is what he sees. But I think that's true with adults too. And here's the issue of our day, dear ones, is that it's been said that people in our society would rather see a bad drama than hear a good message. Father, forgive us. And so one of the reasons I do what I do is I want to give them a good drama and a good message. Because we glut on movies, don't we? So And as I meditate on the Word, this is where it comes from. Just over and over and over and over again, the same text over and over, and all of a sudden, big, all these ideas for object lessons and dramas come. And so, that's how I know how to minister. I just do it with adults and youth.